This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Now Wathan call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Racha Hakodash, Shalom Laha Alahayim. Giving all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahushai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Peace to the gods, double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the head elders of all the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do rule well. Salutations and blessings upon the elect, the tabernacle of David being risen up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. May peace and blessings be upon your house. It's your brother Salaki. It's your brother Tazapanya Banyamyan of the Sons of Yashala came out here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Coming at you again with another quick hit through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord willing, is edifying to the elect. As you can see, man, in the topic, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham to everybody that, tunes into me, man. Y'all don't know how much that means to me, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it just means I'm doing the work of the Lord. And I tune into y'all brothers as well, too, man. Trust and believe. We all need this edification, all right, as we are the sheep, all right, and we follow Yahweh Shah's voice, all right, and the Most High's voice is the prophets, okay, spoken in Thessalonians, that he shall consume them by the spirit of his mouth, man, all right, so, we doing the work, man. Fire is coming out of this mouth because the spirit, the Lord is reminiscent, you know what I'm saying, as the purifying agent, as fire, man. You know what I mean? We cutting them. All right. And this is the brother Zadok Amram. He just posted this video real quick, and then we're going to get into another video, and we're going to get into the scriptures. All right. Because this was very spiritual, and I thought of that script that I read. I'm going to read it again, but it looks like some Ishmaelite, all right, on TikTok, and it going into when the dollar collapsed. So this is a minute video, and we're going to get into it.
The US dollar collapses, then automatically the US economy will crash. Remember, this is the international currency. There is going to be such massive financial loss in the United States in particular. White America losing most of its wealth. That you can close your eyes and anticipate panic in the United States of America and riots in the United States of.
And we can close our eyes and actually see panic in the United States, man. I mean, the scriptures speak about it. Lord willing, I get to them scriptures a little later, but because of time's sake, there's a couple of information I want to bring out first. All right.
They might have to declare martial law.
You see that? They might have to declare martial law. No, martial law will be enacted. Okay. It will be enacted. All right.
In the United States. But more than that, the collapse of the US dollar, since this is the international currency, is going to create panic in the weak currency areas of the world. Indonesian rupiah, the Bangladeshi taka, the Pakistani rupee.
And that's in the scriptures. And I'm going to prove it to you right now with the scripture that I just brought out. This is Zephaniah 1 again, verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate. All right. The fish gate was a place where transactions was going on selling fish for money. All right. So a merchant place, and it proves that to you in the next verse, but we're not going to get to that. The point is in the last part of verse 10. And a howling, people howl when bad things are going on from the second gate. All right. So any, the places in this area, all right, where there's trading going on because can't provide for your family. Why do you go buy fish? All right. To feed yourself and to feed your family. And a great crashing from the hills. All right. So that means, in the ancient world, other places where they was doing it. All right. There was things going on that was causing, all right, the the howling and the crying from these merchant stores, in the ancient world. Now we can use this modern terms. We know mountains are kingdoms. So if it says hills, hills are smaller kingdoms or smaller governments. You see? So crashing from the hills is exactly what is going to happen when the world reserve currency is destroyed, because all other currencies are undercoupled and backed upon the US dollar. You see? So, like he said, the Indonesian, the Bangladeshi, right? And some other one, all right, the Pakistani, all their currencies, because it's backed upon this US dollar, they're gonna be in panic too, trying to save themselves by sell, dumping it, and it's gonna even make it even worse because all of this is coupled together. All right. It's a global stage, a financial monetary system. That's why when there's trade wars, you're trying to reprimand one country with sanctions, not knowing that it affects not only you and them, but everybody else, because everybody's connected together, because everybody trades with each other. But see, a house divided against itself can't stand. This is how we know the kingdom of Yahweh Shah is coming.
In panic as people struggle and rush to dump their paper.
You see what I'm saying? So the point now that I was going to get into is this, brother. This is John Williams. All right, you can subscribe to him too. I don't know exactly, his nationality, but that's neither here nor there because he only goes into financial news. All right, but this is big because he says we are entering a cyber pandemic, and those are not his words. That's headlines from news and coming from the world. There's so much things coming out of this Davos event of the World Economic Forum. Something got to happen to the internet, because 2 years ago nobody knew about no World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. Now all of a sudden they're being exposed. How the hidden things of Esau have been sought out, man. For his seed, all right, is spoiled, and I made him bear. Roughly paraphrasing. The wicked shall be revealed. There's so many scriptures regarding it. You see? So something has to happen to the internet because their power comes from secrecy, as Elder Apostle Gabar always says, man. That's why they stay behind closed doors and run certain things behind closed doors. All right, but we're going to get into this. We're going to get into some scriptures and watch how critical this is only 19 days in of the hopeful year of all prophecies coming to pass.
John here. In July of 2021, right when this video came out with Klaus Schwab talking about the cyber pandemic, saying that this is going to be, I'm going to share with you this video in a second, that this is going to be far worse than anything we've experienced over the last few years.
Far worse, man. So if they're telling you Klaus Schwab is, I call him Santa Claus because his name is Klaus. Santa Claus, or should I say Satan Claus, right? All right. It's going to be far worse. So y'all remember all the businesses closing down, not being able to go outside, everybody wearing goddamn masks. Niggas is acting all crazy if you cough next to them and this and that and the third and pushing you family members. Or did you get the snake piss yet? Did you get the Fauci ouchie? Oh, you ain't get the Fauci ouchie? What are you doing? Acting crazy. So it's a bunch of talk, but this next one is going to be actual action. All right, it's going to be fighting. It's going to be shots ringing off, man. This is the type of things that we're going into. All right, because it's going to be all hell breaking loose, man. They want that to happen just like the last one for martial law to come in, but there's a point that he makes in the middle of this video.
And now what we look at right now with what's happened over the last couple weeks, it to me signals that we're stepping into exactly what they were discussing. Take a look at this video.
Wow.
And look at the date here, July 5th, 2021. Well, here's the video.
Attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
So, if that didn't get your attention, look at this. The title of this Newsweek, it's a cyber pandemic. This just came out.
It's crazy.
Yesterday.
Look, it says how hackers outwit all efforts to stop them. It's a cyber pandemic. January 18th, 2023, hopeful year of all prophecies coming to pass, 5 a.m. Eastern Time on Newsweek magazine.
How attackers outwit all efforts to stop them. It's a cyber pandemic. Talking about last week, if you don't remember, the FAA grounded all planes. All planes. This is the first time it's happened in 20 years, over 20 years. And so we look at what's happening right now. Bank of America CEO, if you've heard of what happened at Bank of America yesterday with this Zelle situation in which users were seeing money pulled out of their accounts. It's all over TikTok. All of these different users, people were yelling and screaming at the banks. There's tons of people inside the lobby trying to get their money out of the banks. Pretty scary situation. Well, the Bank of America CEO, where was he? He was in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum meeting. And so during this meeting in Davos, he goes on to say that new ESG rules need to reboot capitalism. He says, if you're below it, we shouldn't do business with you.
Woo! So the CEO of Bank of America is in Switzerland when they came out on an article saying that there was a whole band of prostitutes that's in Switzerland right now because 180 billionaires is at this fucking meeting in Switzerland and shit. You know how much money but they're trying to band together because, you know, it's human trafficking, people dying, all type of shit like that, you know, because these niggas is out there on some vacation shit, how they want to rule the world, and then at night they want to get drunk, sniff that A1 Perico, and go pop a couple of harlots and all of that. You feel me? Wow. His bank that he's this chief executive officer of, niggas is losing their money. This shit is a movie, son. This shit is a movie. Y'all better get ready for the climax, man. And then he goes on to say, if you're not at a certain status level, right, according to the ESG rules, we don't even want to do business with you. You can't even show.
So what they want to do is set a standard in which businesses need to operate in. And if you don't operate inside that standard, they don't want to do business with you, right? Ooh. So it says, but with this standardization, cross-jurisdiction rules that are part of companies' annual reports.
And honestly, that's exactly what the brother posted. Let's get it. Where is it at? The unrighteous decrees. I'm about to find it. He just posted it too. Yeah, the brother Maz Naeem, servant of Yahweh Shai, subscribe and be edified to his videos. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. So they're trying to have whatever ESG means, a standard process on if you don't meet these qualifications, well, fuck you. We don't want your money. Word? Oh, that's crazy. And see, that sounds very social credit score. It's giving social credit system. You know, you gotta, in order, you know, the social media, it's giving social credit system. Yo, this place is through, man. This place is through. If you can't see it's through, you have been blinded by the Most High Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai.
And audited, he continued. Then, frankly, an investment manager, the consumer, society, others can't sit in there and say, here's the line that is acceptable, and if you're either above it or below it. If you're
the line, oh shit, man, and this is it right here. I the brother Labanah, Wavy La, endure the last days for, man. Subscribe and be edified to his videos. Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is about to bring excruciating pain to this place. That's right. That's right. That's what we want. This is the hopeful year of all prophecies coming to pass. And one of the prophecies is excruciating pain to Babylon the Great, man. You see what I'm saying? Oh, if you behind this line, then that sounds it's giving Jim Crow. It's giving Jim Crow. You like in Family Guy when they had the little paper bag. If you was darker than this color or lighter than this, we ain't fucking with you. Like, you feel, now they doing it on some status level. You feel me? If your business or this and that and the third is not up to par on this line and you under that line, we just can't fuck with you. Word dead.
Below it, we shouldn't do business with you. And if you're above it, tell us how you're making progress along these important things, which at the end of the day will align capitalism with what society wants from it and gets us going faster. So they determine what is below and above that line, right? And so Bank of America CEO, now Bank of America, says the problem with Zelle transactions is resolved, right? So you look at what Bank of America recently just said. This is 2 days ago. So during this entire time, while they're in Davos, the CEOs in Davos, they go on to say, Bank of America CBDCs are the future of money and payments.
So while they're the CEOs in Davos, 2 days ago, news article from CoinDesk says Bank of America is saying that CBDCs is inevitable. You see that they laughing in your face like, nigga, we God, what you gonna do about it? You see, but we don't worship them. The scriptures say he's gonna prove to you that the men of Egypt are men and not gods. In the scriptures, those that trust in their chariots and their horses and shit, which would be basically their tools of power. The CBDC is part of that shit, that whole monetary system. See, those that are with us is greater that are with them, man. We have the power of Yahweh, man. Our power, the power of Yasha Allah. We are princes of the power. And for you Aqua princesses, man, at least that's what we striving to be, man. You see what I'm saying? This play, they literally mocking you, man. But remember, Galatians 6:7, be not deceived, right? For God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is not mocked. For whatever a man shall sow, the same shall he reap. So you want to sow all of this forcible worshiping of you? Well, you're going to get forcibly to worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, through his men under slavery.
Then the ESG policies, then the Zelle banking situation that's happening in Bank of America. Many people say, just Bank of America. It's not a big deal, John. You're being dramatic. You look at what's happening right now. Central bank digital currencies, how money could be redesigned, right? This just came out as well 2 days ago. So it's all right in front of us, right? All right in front of our faces. And we look at who their partners are. There's almost no escape.
This is the WEF website.
So even almost anywhere right now, you look at, for example, I'll go to the letter B. Letter B, you look at all the banks. Not all of them, but a lot of them that are titled Bank of America, Bank of China, Bank of Industry, right? Bank of Madeira, all over the world, right? Bangkok Bank. And it goes on, JP Morgan's in here. JP Morgan's the biggest Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase. So you start to look at a lot of these, Citibank is in here, all the big banks are in World Economic Forum, right? And so simply add everything up together. You add it up together today, the debt limit threat looms. Wall Street, Washington have only rough plans. And so here they discuss, what they could potentially do with this is like the 75th time that they've had to, readjust or, mess with the debt limit. And they continue to do this and do this and do this. But this is not going to, I think, end well. I think ultimately what's going to happen is it's going to get pushed to the breaking point and they're going to call it the new solution.
See, and that's the point that I wanted to get to right in the middle of the video. Push to a breaking point. And that's the first word that came to my mind was, there's a word that encompasses what he just said. And the word was convergence. So we're going to go into the Common Dictionary. Okay. We're going to go into the Common Dictionary. I just had it here too. Salakia. Converge. Here we go. All right. Merriam-Webster. Common Dictionary. Right. And you see converge right there, right? It says it's a verb, to approach the common center or single point. So notice he said a breaking point, all right, which is the common center. All right. So they want a breaking point because that's the goal of this whole thing. They're to orchestrate something because they have the solution prepared, which would be let him say it again.
Continue to do this and do this and do this, but this is not going to, I think, end well. I think ultimately what's going to happen is it's going to get pushed to the breaking point, and they're going to come up with a new solution.
And the new solution will be the central bank digital currencies, but eventually, right? That's why I said in the topic CBDC via right the Karagma, the RFID chip. All right. Revelation 13, verse 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a Karagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the Karagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Straight to the point, man.
With days to go before the United States bumps up against a technical limit of how much debt it can issue, Wall Street analysts and political prognosticators are warning that a perennial source.
Prognosticators, and that goes into the reading of the stars, basically trying to predict the future and shit politically. He said it wrong, and he doesn't know what it necessarily means. All right, but that's why I said Wall Street analysts. But the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, all right, that the windows. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick, and we'll continue on. All right, I'll probably go to 25 minutes. Usually, I try to keep it under 20. You know, in the likeness of Elder Apostle Racha, all right, and the beloved Elder Malcolm. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12. One of my favorite verses, man, because I didn't use it at a time, and then now it just seems like it's perfect, man. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay? When you look out your window, all right, is it raining outside? Right? But it's dark. You can't see it. Remember the darkness, those that grope in the noonday, you feel me, as if, you know, they're blinded, right? Because darkness means you can't see, you're lost. So these people that look out, the grinders, the workers, the analysts, the Wall Street brokers, they're lost of what's about to come. They're telling you lies. Oh yeah, no recession. It's gonna be this, gonna be that. Completely destroyed, man. All right, let's continue.
Of partisan brinkmen could finally tip the outright catastrophe in 2023.
In 2023, Wall Street analysts and political prognosticators are warning that a perennial source of partisan brinkmanship could finally tip into outright catastrophe into 2023. Partisan means what? All right. Bipartisan means two parties working together. Partisan meaning so there's something is going to be on the brink of destruction, the tip of it. All right, because this is a sinking ship. It's the Titanic, and because them not getting along, especially when it comes to financial, bills and shit like that. And it didn't say 2025. It didn't say 2030. It said this year, man.
You look at what's happened right now. This just came out as well 13 hours ago. Fed policymakers call for further rate hikes to beat inflation, so they can continue pushing up rates, pushing up the cost to borrow for consumers, pushing up the cost for consumers to service credit card debt, existing debt. This is going to just continue pushing people into asking for another solution. People aren't going to be able to make ends meet.
You see, yo, bro. Oh man, son. People don't realize that a lot of people that have businesses, they never had startup capital. They had to get a business loan. Let's say a bank gives you $100,000 and you have a new business out there and you still trying to pay back the loan. Without you refinancing it, okay, they just made it seem that, you know, if you were to pay it back over a 10-year period, you'll be paying, I don't know, $170,000. Now because of the interest hike, all right, you got to pay $270,000, even though you only took out $100,000. So you looking at it, oh damn, well now I got to pay more money back to the bank because of me borrowing to keep my business afloat. All right, now I got to sell my product at this rate. And then, you know, I got to lay off people. You don't see how it's a house of cards, man, and it's about to all come falling down. All right.
Look at the cost of eggs. You look at the cost of just basic life now. It is so expensive. Big investors and in banks, economists are using financial models to predict when the United States, which borrows money to pay its existing bills for running out of cash, they're assessing what it could mean if the U.S. government is unable to pay some of its bondholders and the country defaults on its debt. And they are gaming out how to both minimize risk and to make the most of opportunities of profit that might be hiding in the chaos. They need to start planning. Potential debt limit breach became more urgent last week when Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told Congress that the United States would hit its borrowing cap on Thursday. At that point, Treasury will begin using extraordinary measures to try and stay under the cap for as long as possible, but those options could be exhausted as soon as June. Congress places a limit on the amount of debt the country can issue with a simple majority of the House and Senate required to lift it. The cap, currently at $31.4 trillion, needs to be adjusted to allow the United States to borrow to pay obligations it has already committed to, such as funding for social safety net programs, interest on national debt and salaries for troops. Wrangling over lifting the borrowing caps has become a fixture, right? They go on to say here, Bank of America analyst wrote in a note to clients this week that a default in late summer or early fall is likely.
Oh,
While Goldman Sachs called for the possibility that the government would not be able to make good on its bills, a greater risk than any time since 2011 when the nation approached the brink. In that episode, its credit rating was downgraded and a wild market gyrations helped to force lawmakers to blink. So this is what I think everyone should be doing right now. If you are in consumer debt, you have credit card debt, you have some type of adjustable rate debt, I would do everything you could possibly do to either get that debt into fixed rate debt or to try to pay it off as quickly as possible. Because what I think is ultimately going to happen is if you have that ability, that flexibility, you can move and pivot. You're not straddled down with debt. You're going to have more options. And as banks...
Well, all right. So now he's getting into, because he's a credit guy and he has a website and trying to sell that, So we, eat the meat, spit out the bones, right? Because at the end of the day, this whole place is falling. Why try to... Now, there's nothing wrong with try to make your situation a little bit better than here and there. But if you have faith in that, in order you're going to have some type of, like, this is going to be your kingdom, then you completely off, man. Because this place is about to be destroyed. Everything is about to pass away. The fashion of this world is about to pass away. And that fashion goes into form. All right. So how things is formed right now, cash and everything like that, and this and that and the third, we are seeing it. The point of these videos, it's about to be done. A new system is coming in. All right. So, Khan, and that's the perfect script. The water. The brother Maz Naeem, servant of Yahweh Shah, Psalm chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be people that seem to be putting themselves in certain positions that's going to help, for some reason, but don't realize the scriptures. In order to keep that, you're going to have to basically sell your soul. And that action is going to be manifested by taking that RFID chip, man. All right, which seems to be happening very sooner than we believe. Okay, sooner than we believe, man. All right. So again, man, when this shit collapses, all hell is about to break loose. Martial law is probably going to be enacted. CBDCs is going to come about. There might be some type of a still nature, but the way that Elder Apostle Tahar brings it out, it's like the RFID chip is going to be pushed before the actual not the climax, but the super imagination of what we think, Jacob's trouble is going to be like. So niggas might go crazy a little bit, kind of like in, the pandemic, niggas was going crazy in the streets and the George Floyd shit and this and that and the third. Niggas going to be like, yo. But until that RFID chip is not mandated, then things is still going to seem somewhat manageable. But when they push that shit, oh man, because you're basically ousting everybody that don't want to worship you. And there's a lot of people that don't want to worship this fucking devil, man. Even their own people. House divided against house. Kingdom divided against kingdom. All right. So again, wait patiently for the Lord. His salvation is coming, man. Have faith. Keep the faith. Hold what thou hast. All right. We fighting for the incorruptible crown. All right. These niggas' crowns are gonna perish. All right. So there's a reason There's a reason, and we might not exactly know exactly why, but we just doing what it resonates with our spirit. But there's a reason why we've been brought into this truth. Lord willing, it's because we of that number of the elect. Koholo Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allahaya Nawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shalom Laha Alahayim, Abba, Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.